All right, so episode 2 started, well, um, basically, we all saw what was going to happen. And obviously, Stephen Baldwin was totally ready for what was going to happen. And the medic basically told the staff that Stephen is making excuses and that he's done. He wants to leave. So everybody knew what Stephen was doing. He it wasn't so much that he wanted to be handled with kid gloves. He wanted out. So I actually thought that the staff was going to say, we're not going to give you the out you want. Either you quit on your own or you have to endure. I swear that's what they would have done in the first couple of seasons. But this season, they're like, yeah, sure, go. But they did let it be known that they didn't think very highly of what Stephen was doing. So he was the first one, and the recruits just kept coming down. Allie's finger was hurting. I actually thought that she would have been medically withdrawn before she was. But, so they had a task where they linked arms and rolled back into the water and rolled back out. Now, one of the recruits said, I think they tried to kill us. And my thought is, is this your first time hearing about Special Forces training? Because, yeah, actually, that's pretty much what it is. And you're getting a small taste of it. If you were in an actual special forces training, it would be so much worse. If you think this was them trying to kill you, you never experienced actual special forces training. So while there, Denise said that her back was killing her and that she just can't move. She can barely walk. And so she wanted to sit out, and Q is like, that's not how this works. Either you leave or you stay. There's no, I'm going to sit this one out. Which, fair. I mean, the whole point is to train people to be in special forces, and you can't pick and choose what missions you go on. So that's fair. And yeah, there was a lot about this episode that again makes you wonder, have these people watched the show? Do they understand what special forces does? So Denise was the next recruit out. And then Allie became the third recruit out because of her finger. Now, there was another one who complained of hypothermia, but we didn't see the result of that. So I'm assuming that she stayed in. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can find. Let's see here. All right. So, people who failed. Yeah, my chat bar is in the middle. So, let's see. First is Steven, we have Allie, we have Denise. So, those are the only three. So, I didn't miss anything. Because, like I said, I was, nothing happened One of the recruits complained of hypothermia, but I guess the medic cleared her because Allie was the only one that the medic said, yeah, she's done. And she was so upset because she wanted to stay till the end, but if you have only one hand, kind of hard. With Denise's back, I'm pretty sure a lot of it has to do with the fact that she broke her implants. Because let's face it, your back is kind of sort of used to the way the weight is on your front. And so when you lose that, it changes the way your back is. So I'm pretty sure I mean, that's probably why she has back problems. Because I mean, God knows how many times she's gotten implants. If it's a one-time thing or if she's gotten it more often and what other work she's gotten done, who knows. Um so we are down to, let's see. We started with 16. So we're down to 13 recruits. And there is no guarantee that next week more won't fall because Jordan is having issues. Now, whether she's going to quit is a different story. I still don't think she's going to quit. But I wasn't aware that she was part of the Larry Nassar thing. For those who are wondering which big story they were talking about, look up Larry Nassar. So I didn't realize she was a part of that. Um so but I think that she'll bounce back because sometimes you just need a pep talk, which is what one of the things that the guys are there for. It's kind of a very weird situation. They spend most of the time belittling you and making you feel like you're this tall, but in the tactical questions, they their job is to build you up, to make you feel like you can do this. Um, Somehow I don't think if Steven made it to tactical questions, I don't think that that would be the message they gave him. I think that they would really rip into him. And I'm pretty sure if they were to talk to Cam or Golden, that would be the same thing, that they would be less than sympathetic to them. Unless they have a very compelling sob story, which I highly doubt. It sounds like they're both there just to chase, not necessarily glory, but chase the next rush. Because they're not getting that from football anymore. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to bring up. I have now only, again, half the recruits passed, half failed, and that half was 6. So, yeah, I'd say that means at 7, I think we're at. I don't know. But, I have to give it to those who passed, who could feel that jarring stop, that unceremonious stop of the harness, and not make a noise, because that's hard. I mean, your voice is just tempted to let out air. You're tempted to just let out air and it makes a noise. So to not do that is very impressive. Let's see here. For Kayla, they brought up this article about Travis Kelce, and he was explaining to Foxy who Travis Kelce is, because that's actually, I hope that Kayla will see that and make it, feel better about herself, that it might feel like the whole world is against her because of Travis Kelce. But literally, not everybody knows who Travis Kelce is, especially for people who don't live in the United States. So that should make her feel better, that even though it might feel like the entire world is against her, it literally isn't. Because most people don't know who he is. Most people will know who Taylor Swift is, and so a lot of more people probably have learned of Travis Kelce because of Taylor Swift, but it's not necessarily vice versa. It's, I mean, Taylor Swift, I'm sure that there are plenty of football fans who've never heard of Taylor Swift, but I would think that Venn diagram is very small of those who've never heard of Taylor Swift but are football fans. Um, so that should make her feel good. This idea that she that that social media might feel like the world, but it's not. Let's see what else is there that I wanted to mention in this episode. Um, you could tell that Denise was also not thrilled that she was going to leave, because she also wanted to push herself. But let's face it, when your body says stop, you have to stop. Whether it's because her implants broke, whether it's just back pain because you're over 50. I mean, she's literally my age. She's 53. Or, I mean, I've had osteoarthritis for a while. And coming up the stairs today was just painful on the knees. You know, things just happen, especially as you get older and you have medical problems. Things are going to happen, let alone when you're doing what they're doing. So, the fact that she lasted, obviously she wanted to last longer, but the fact that she lasted as long as she did and did what she did is still impressive. So, yeah, even though she failed all her tasks, just the fact that she got as far as she did is impressive. So she should be very proud of herself. Yes, kick yourself that you didn't go further, but it wouldn't do you or anybody else any good to go further, because you could get really hurt then. I really felt for Allie, because a fluke accident happened that she jammed her fingers and that made it impossible for her to continue. And it sucked because she was bounding in to talk to Foxy, and she seemed like she was thrilled to be there, and then to get the news that, yeah, you're gone. You're being medically evacuated. You're being medically withdrawn. So I felt bad for those two. Those two, because they wanted to be there and they wanted to get to the end. Well, Denise, I don't know if she wanted to get to the end or just make it further, though, because it is only day 2. But at the same time, it's special forces training. It's not like a walk in the park. Carrie looks like he's having issues, because I think it was when Kayla mentioned, how they treated her, that they brought up their computer, showed her that article, and how they were motivating for her, and Carrie's like, I hope they continue this. I think it was Carrie who said that. And it implied to me that that this is starting to get to him. Because, like I said in the last video, it's going to be the psychological problem. It's going to be psychological that is going to knock Carrie out. It's not going to be the physical, because you do not go into a sport and go through your career and have 80 broken bones and let the physical nature of something get you, because you've gone through so much. It's going to be the psychological, because that is something that I don't think that you get a lot of in motocross. I mean, I'm sure there's some, but it's not like gymnastics or football or something more physical. So yeah, him I'm starting to worry about. Cam and Golden, I'm not sure what to think of them. Because on the one hand, they seem to both want to be there for the rush and for the to push themselves, but at the same time, the staff misunderstands them. They see cockiness where there isn't cockiness. I mean, Cam pointed that out in the first episode, that it's like, not being cocky. So, because they're now dealing with a group of people from a different world than they come from. So, Jordan, I think that she needed that pep talk about, she needed that pep talk about, what she went through, and just, having someone outside of gymnastics hear her story about Larry Nassar. Because I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't be aware of it. I mean, you saw them bring up the article about Kayla and Travis Kelce, but I'm pretty sure that they looked up Jordan Weber and found out about Larry Nassar. I find it hard to believe that they did not know, but that they, listened, because otherwise I'm sure that it would be so hard for them to keep calm at hearing about, oh yeah, our doctor sexually abused us. So, let's see, what else is there about this? I think I pretty much covered everything. This seemed like a much quicker episode than the first one, because the first one was more world building. You're in Wales. When recruits fail. Oh yes, that was the punishment for half the recruits failing this time, which is the staff threw the Bergens into the river. And so everybody had to go and grab a Bergen. And which didn't help Denise's back one bit. And Landon, I can't remember who it was, but Landon was so sweet when they were almost into the parade area. He offered to carry one of the Bergens. So yeah, there was only one punishment that I believe that I saw. They said that they were going to punish Cam for what he did to Golden, but I don't believe we saw that. I don't think my memory is that bad. I don't believe we saw them, so maybe it's just something that's going to happen later on, that they just are biding their time for when they're going to go after Cam. And then we see the scenes from next episode, and it looks like they're going to be submerged again into water. But this time it isn't a vehicle. It seems like they're in a box, some type of container that's being lowered into water. So I don't know if it's going to be a case of there's a way for them to get out, or how this is going to go. But if they thought that the submerging the way they did it this episode was trying to kill them, just wait till next week. Let's see if there's anything else. Again, we had a montage of some of the passes and fails in the first task. So we still don't have a good grasp of what's happening because there's still so many. Maybe now that there's only 13, maybe we'll see more people doing a task, that it'll be less of a montage. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to mention about this episode. I think that's all I have for this episode. So with that, I will see you guys in the next video.